Excellent. So it's 9 o'clock, and let us begin our routine. We will begin with the heart-focused breathing. This is an easy start to the day. We will take the 2 steps to place our awareness in the area of our heart, and we are going to take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. You guys are masters at this by now, I'm sure. So we will begin, as you know how this chart works, is we begin to exhale and inhale, and this is something that we can keep pace or not. You don't have to follow the ball going up, and as it goes up, you can take a deep breath in, flowing it through your heart, and exhale as the ball falls down. So feel free to use the breath pacer or close your eyes and use your own. We will do this for 5 minutes as we take deep breaths in through our heart. Exhale, slowing our body down completely. Beautiful. I was listening to a Tony Robbins podcast today, and he's using the archway principle, or at least somebody who was on there, one of Tony Robbins' coaches. The archway principle is that anytime you cross an archway or go through a door, anytime you walk into an entrance, remind yourself to do this deep breathing technique. It's simple, you're going to breathe anyways, so why not breathe in this way? Deep breath in, exhale. So make it a point anytime you walk in through a door or an archway, remind yourself to do the heart focus breathing. Focus your area in the attention of your heart. Take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Put a gentle smile on your face as you're doing this. You can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. One more minute of this, and then we'll launch into our this morning's sermon, as I like to call it. And like I said, if this pacing is too quick for you, just close your eyes and follow your own breath pacing. The idea is to have it slower and deeper than you normally would. So remember the threshold approach to practicing this. And once you do this, you won't even know it that your body will kick into it automatically. And that's the way we want it. We want the body to hit the resonant point of this breath technique. Okay, Thank you so much for that. And I see a few of us joined in. Uh, Thank you, Anar. Good morning from the Canadian Rockies. Yes, you're in my backyard here. That's wonderful. Great. Excellent. So let's go back to what are we going to be chatting about right now? This is I call it the I didn't know that moment, but most of us on this call, you guys really know most of this stuff, but it's good for a reinforcement. Today's chat is about fostering relationships. This is where I share with you the strategy for difficult conversations where the idea is there to match the desires. And the notion is this, that when you wake up in the morning, what is your heart's desire? Consciously or subconsciously? Is it really to experience a day filled with personal failures and disappointments? Or is it to experience ease and joy and personal satisfaction? When you wake up in the morning, you say, I'm going to really screw up today. And of course not. Now, of course, we want to wake up and we want to have a fantastic day. And that really is everyone else's desire. And so I'll give you an example of a recent news article that I read. There was a Time magazine reporter who was in the Oval Office, given the recent election and the inauguration. And he wrote a story about the fact that Martin Luther King Jr.'s bust was removed from the Oval Office. He actually went ahead, didn't see the bust in the Oval in the area which was there before, and he automatically assumed that Donald Trump had taken his first action by removing that bust because Donald Trump is a racist. Now, that was the projection he had on Donald Trump. He saw and he assumed that Donald Trump was a racist and approached the situation using that filter. And when he didn't see the bust of Martin Luther King, he lined it up with his own interpretation and said, aha, the guy is a racist. It reinforced that understanding of his. Whereas if he had gotten up in the morning and said, okay, I want to shoot the lights out, I want to write the best story there is, and then he projected that on Donald Trump and said, well, Donald Trump woke up this morning, he didn't want to screw up, he just wanted people to like him, he just wanted to do the right thing, then you would start with a real clean slate. So the idea here is to match your desire to it doesn't matter whether Donald Trump is a racist, he removed the bust or not, but what it does matter is how you approach the situation. It so turned out that the Time magazine reporter had to withdraw and apologize for that article because it really wasn't true. It's just that he didn't see the bust, he assumed it, jumped to the conclusion, and this is something that could ruin a reporter's career just because their filters are not appropriately established. And so we don't want to make this mistake in our personal and professional lives. How many people do we come across that we already project a certain feeling to, and then everything is basically interpreted through that lens? So really, the idea here and the nugget today is to match their desire to the experience. So before approaching another person, assume they want to experience joy, success, ease, and feeling supported. Then engage them in that way. Engage them like they want to shoot the lights out, that they really want to succeed, that they really want to feel supported. And you will be pleasantly surprised by the outcome. So this week, as you're walking about and somebody whispers in your ear and tells you, this particular person is making my life hell, can you go talk to them? Your job is to wash that predisposition away. As you walk into that person, assume that they woke up this morning just like you did and said, today I am going to shoot the lights out. And you walk in there and you say, and your opening conversation will have such a different demeanor that the other person, if they woke up feeling crappy, they'll feel supported. They will automatically shift their demeanor. They may even be inspired to apologize for how they came across. And so nobody wants to fail. Everybody wants to succeed. I hope that works for you this week. So let us go on to the third of this particular session, the last 5 minutes, and we're going to add one more layer to this. We are going to do the heart focused breathing technique, which is placing awareness in the area of your heart. Take slow, deep breaths and visualize these flowing in and out of your heart. Then we're going to add the third step, which is experience a positive feeling, which is love, appreciation, and peace. And now reach for something of that positive vibe and watch your stress melt away. So let us begin this process for the next 5 minutes, focusing the area around your heart, taking deep breaths and visualizing these flowing in and out of your heart. And now begin to experience a positive emotion. Reach for something amazing that happened to you in the past or you anticipate will happen to you in the future. And when you experience this amazing feeling of love, compassion, appreciation, inner ease, calm, that positive, neutral feeling to exhilaration of compassion and passion, when you have that happening, your body excretes these amazing hormones that allow you to repair and rejuvenate your system. It gives body permission to, as they say in the army, stand at ease, because when you are completely alert, your adrenaline is flowing, you're waiting and ready to counterattack somebody or defend yourself against an attack. Whereas when you take these deep breaths and you positive feelings, it's a signal to your body, it's a communication to your body that all is well. You can stop worrying about anybody jumping on you, start repairing and putting the house in order, start cleaning around the corners, dusting and cleaning in the house. And that's really what your body is it is channeling all those resources right now when you give the positive emotions to repair and rejuvenate. So let us begin and do this using the archway principle. Anytime you pass through an archway, do the quick coherence technique. So just add a layer onto your heart focus, heart breathing, and feel that heart. Deep breaths in, exhale. One technique I like to use is I actually like to experience the feeling with all of my five senses. So when I'm experiencing something and I bring it forward in my heart, I listen for the sounds of that experience as well. And I try to smell the aroma of that experience. And if I happen to have a latte in my hand when I'm standing in front of a beach or sitting in my chair on a beachfront, then I experience a taste of that latte, in my example anyways. If I'm walking down a sandy beach, I experience that feeling of my bare foot, my bare feet touching that sand. So begin to experience in this moment with all your five senses. And this is the technique we use to actually manifest our desires is you use this technique and begin to experience it as if it's happening now. And you do this for 5 to 15 minutes a day, and you will have that feeling brought forth in many ways. That was the 15 minutes. That flew by fast as it does every Monday. Before you sign off, we will have a Q&A session happening pretty quick. But before you sign off, I just wanted to let you know that there will be no session next Monday, and we will continue on in February. So next Monday, we're going to skip a session, but I encourage you to have a replay of these because I've sent you links on the replay, and I've daisy chained the replay together in a playlist on the YouTube video. And so if you have a link for one, it'll be played to you in a playlist. All right, so that's it. It's a Q&A time. So if you've got a question that you want me to address, if something's burning, if you want to talk about what we did last week, perception is reality, and how that fared for you, by all means, let's type into the chat box here. Wonderful. You guys are becoming masters at this. No questions. Fantastic. Well, there's somebody typing. Just give me some feedback on the lesson that we talked about today, the matching your desires. If you have a does it helpful to know that if you project onto the person that you're approaching, that's you're in a difficult conversation, that does it help if you project onto that person that that person wants to succeed today? And how, and then when you approach them, you feel, how am I going to help that person succeed? Because I too want to succeed. And so how do we match our desires in that particular arena? Michelle, thank you for your question. I am finding that practicing this technique, I am releasing non-heart focused energy physically. Can you explain more, Michelle? Non-heart focused energy. You mean things that are other things that are happening to you beyond the heart? Other areas around your body? Is that what you mean, Michelle? And while Michelle is typing her response, this particular technique, it's not only there to clear the heart chakra, if I may use that term. The heart is actually the engine that drives the entire biological mechanism of your body. It's got a powerful magnetic field. And if you've ever done an experiment in school where you've done magnetic field, magnetic files, or files from an iron, I should say, on a piece of paper, and underneath it you put a magnetic field with a north and a south pole, you'll see the iron filings become patterned. And that is a magnetic field of your heart. Perhaps not in that low frequency of that iron filings, but nevertheless, there's a certain frequency of your magnetic field that your heart kind of emanates constantly. With each pulse of your heartbeat, a magnetic field is formed. And that's just physics, and that happens all the time. So scientists have measured this magnetic field emanating to 3 feet out at HeartMath Labs. And now this is a 3 foot bubble that you're walking around with, this magnetic field. And so this magnetic field of your heart actually penetrates through every cell in your body. 100 trillion cells in your body or more, this magnetic field penetrates to every cell in your body. So when you do this technique, it actually helps other ailments in your body, not only around the heart and the chest area, but kidneys, gallbladders, liver, toes, feet, whatever you have. There are many studies showing. As a matter of fact, I'm not doing much justice to this. There's a workshop in February that's led by the co-founder of HeartMath, Howard Martin, and he has a day and a half. In that day and a half, he is going to discuss the science behind HeartMath, exactly what we're doing today, and there's like 7 or 8 techniques that he's going to teach us that we can use on the archway principle. And these 7 or 8 techniques are used for different things. Like if you want to make a decision, how do you make a decision and push through that anxiety of making that decision? There's an actual technique for that we haven't even discussed here. So if you're interested, when you close this window, you will see that website pop up, and just check it out. So Michelle, did you have any more clarification, or did I answer your question by suggesting about the heart's magnetic field and how it's more than it goes beyond more than the heart? Um, as a matter of fact, it actually goes beyond more than you. And this is the workshop that we're going to talk about that I was referring to in February 10th. It actually affects the person next to you. So as you approach that individual, um, and you begin with a projection of I want to succeed, you want to succeed, that emotional signature will be felt by that person. That person won't realize it's being felt, but it'll become uh, that. And then there's actual science behind that. So, Michelle, you've given us clarification. It's rather like feeling sand, as you mentioned. I do sense that along with gnarly or uncomfortable thoughts or sensations such as burning in my back behind the heart. I see. Yes. So you feel, as you're doing this practice, you see things coming up for you in terms of your your symptoms that are coming up. And yes, sometimes when we start doing this heart-focused breathing technique, there are lots of emotional things that come up for us, and they come up for us. It's not something that this thing is causing, but what's happening is it's coming up for clearing. And when you inject that positive emotion, you can actually de-emphasize the pain associated with that. There are physicians who actually are heart math coaches, and they became heart math coaches to help their patients with pain control. This is an actual modality for pain control, is doing the heart focused breathings. Now, I would add to this that if you're feeling this, whether you're taking the deep breaths or not, and you're feeling this pain, you need to have it checked out by a physician for sure. So, Michelle, if this is something you feel that is happening often enough that warrants you to go and talk to a physician, by all means do that. The techniques that I've shown you here, the breath-based techniques, are actually something that will not harm your body at all, because you're breathing anyways. As a matter of fact, when you take the deep breaths in and out of your heart, those deep breaths are actually sending oxygen down, the much needed rich oxygen down to the extreme parts of your body. Because when we shallow breathe, that oxygen is the fresh oxygen is not getting there. And so when you take those deep breaths, there's fresh oxygen flowing into your diaphragm. It's going all over your body, and there's much more. Your body is able to function a lot better. So I hope that helps. Um, Please push through it, Michelle. And if you need to see a physician or anybody here who's got a similar symptom, please don't hesitate in knocking on your physician's door. But do continue to do this breathing technique, because it's going to only improve your healing abilities. And that has been shown in evidence-based experiments. All right. Are there any other questions? We've got a few more minutes. I'm happy to chat with you. Maria, no, I did not. Oh, there it is, Maria, your question. Thank you, Michelle. Maria has a question saying, I feel great, but what does HeartMath recommend to do on days when it's difficult to find positive feelings? Well, HeartMath doesn't really specifically recommend anything other than reaching for the positive feelings. Shamir does recommend something. And what I would do is, if you've got access to YouTube videos, oh my God, there is a ton of stuff on there that you can listen to, watch, videos that make you laugh, videos that make you feel, oh, that's so sweet. Your favorite song that's sung by a favorite artist, or you'll see children performing. Once in a while, you'll see children performing, or I usually post some YouTube videos on my Facebook account, and they're like fun little animal ones. So if you go on YouTube and just look at that, you can't help but feel that amazing feeling. So make sure you search out the things that make you happy on YouTube, and just do that. Listen to music is another way. And I would say that that would be that's pretty much a foolproof way of getting that emotion going. When you wake up in the morning, my God, maybe make it a routine. Have a playlist. Create a playlist in your YouTube video that you have when you come across a YouTube video with positive kind of vibe. Add that to your playlist on YouTube. Okay, and uh, and then you can have all these videos, and you just have to go to the feel good playlist, and it's got all these videos. So every morning you wake up and you listen to one of them. You listen to one of them, and it'll kickstart your day, and then you reflect on that particular YouTube video throughout the day, and use the archway principle when you're doing that. Does that help, Maria? Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good questions. Good questions. All right. Thank you, Anar. Thank you for your yes. We will chat with you in February. I will be sending you out an email with the recap of all of this, and so you can have it. You can replay it. You can replay any of the past ones for next Monday for yourselves if you want. And it was wonderful, wonderful spending time with all of you. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Many blessings to you. I'm only an email away if you have any questions. Take care for now. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.